We will come to order. Hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving. We are here this morning to consider three nominations. Dr. Rita Baranwal to be the Assistant Secretary of Energy for Nuclear Energy, Mr. Bernard McNamee to be a Commissioner on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and Mr. Raymond Vela to be the Director of the National Park Service. We considered these nominations on Thursday, November 15th. We had multiple rounds of questionings. More questions for the record have been submitted, asked and answered. And we're here this morning because we're all trying to wrap things up in these last few days, weeks, we're not sure. But we're trying to get our business done as a committee and recognizing that if we're going to do that with these additional nominees, we're going to have to move to close some things out. With regards to the nominees that we have in front of us this morning, I'm going to be supporting Dr. Baranwal. I believe that she will have an opportunity here to help us shape the future of nuclear energy, something that I think is increasingly critical, not just here in the United States, but globally as well. I'm also going to be supporting Mr. Vela, who stands to be the first Hispanic American to lead the National Park Service. And I will also be supporting Mr. McNamee, but I want to very, very briefly speak to a video that surfaced last week. This was a video that was recorded back in February of this year. And having reviewed that, I will say I find that some of the comments that he has made on that video were unfortunate. When it comes to renewable energy resources, I think that as we recognize that fossil fuels have made a great deal possible, we appreciate that. They're continuing to make a great deal possible. I believe that we continue to need them, but we also recognize their role in the changes that we're seeing in our climate. And likewise, it's more appropriate to think of renewables as, I think, a technical challenge for the grid, one that we can and one that we will overcome. Now, some have suggested that this video is sufficient to warrant a vote against Mr. McNamee. Many of those that are perhaps urging this action already made up their minds a while ago, but I'm looking at it in the context with which I have seen it as one speech from an event 10 months ago, just his second day in a new job out there in Texas. And based on the conversations that I've had with Mr. McNamee, I think that he understands that FERC must be an independent agency. It must continue to function as such. And I'm going to take his commitment to maintain FERC's autonomy and to take an independent role as a commissioner at face value. But I do expect him, I will expect that he be fuel neutral and not a champion for one resource over another. If we are able to report all three of these nominees here today, they will join 7 others from our committee that are already pending. And so, again, I will repeat what I have said previously, that it is my hope that these nominees be confirmed before the end of the year so that the agencies have their leadership teams in place so that the nominees don't have to keep their lives on hold and so that we don't have to basically start over again next year.